Hello, everyone. My name is Ariel, and today I want to talk to you about learning English. Learning English changed my life. It helped me make friends and gave me more chances. At first, I was scared. I didn't know many words and my accent was different. But I didn't stop. I learned slowly, just like a baby learns to walk. Sometimes you may feel shy to speak. Maybe you are afraid of making mistakes. But remember, making mistakes helps you learn. If you don't try, you can't improve. Learning English is like learning to swim. At first it feels scary, but once you start, you feel better. The more you practice, the easier it gets. One way to learn is by listening to English. When you listen, you get used to how words sound. You learn new words without even trying. It's like listening to your favorite music. You can also practice by talking to friends or even talking to yourself. I talk to myself in English sometimes. It feels funny, but it helps me. You can ask yourself questions and answer them. The more you talk, the better you get. It's okay if you don't know many words. You don't need to know big words. Simple words are enough. Just try to say what you want. People will understand. When I started, I was scared people might laugh at me, but I learned that if I don't speak, I can't get better. So I spoke anyway. Most people were kind and helped me. If you feel nervous, that's okay. Take a deep breath, smile, and start talking. It gets easier every time. Another way to learn is by reading out loud. When you read, your brain gets used to words. It's like exercise. The more you do it, the stronger you get. If you don't know how to say something, ask for help. We all need help sometimes. Asking questions is how we learn. Believe in yourself. If you think you can't do it, it will be hard. But if you believe you can, you will get better. Learning English is like climbing a mountain. You don't get to the top in one step. You take small steps, one by one. Before you know it, you will be at the top. Start today. Speak English as much as you can. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Just speak. Learning English is like planting a tree. You water it every day and it grows slowly. But one day it will be tall and strong. Remember, it's not about how fast you learn. It's about never stopping. Keep going. And one day you will say, I did it. I remember the first time I spoke in English. My heart was beating fast. I was scared I would make a mistake. But I spoke anyway. Even though I made mistakes, I was proud I tried. Speaking English is not about being perfect. It's about being brave. Every time you speak, you are getting better. When I started, I watched movies in English. I didn't understand much, but I kept watching. I paid attention to how people spoke and used their faces and hands. I learned that speaking is not just about words, it's about feelings too. When you speak, don't be afraid to show your feelings. Smile when you're happy, frown when you're confused. Language is how we share our hearts. Sometimes you might feel stuck. You may think you're not improving, but that's normal. Learning is like climbing a hill. Some days are fast, some are slow, but you are always moving forward. Set small goals. One day, focus on new words. The next day, focus on speaking clearly. Little by little, you will improve. And when you learn a new word or have a conversation, celebrate. Every step is an achievement. I also wrote a journal in English. Every night, I wrote about my day. It helped me think in English and get better. When you practice speaking, try thinking in English. At first, you may translate in your head, but over time, you will think in English more easily. Find friends who want to practice with you. You can speak English together. The more you practice, the better you will get. Keep practicing and keep believing in yourself. You will improve. Chapter 1. Hello again. Let's talk more about practice. Practice is the key to learning English. The more you practice, the better you will get. At first, it may feel hard, but don't give up. Think of learning English like playing a sport. The first time you play, it's difficult, but the more you practice, the easier it gets. Learning English works the same way. Every day, try to practice a little bit. You don't need to practice for hours. Just 10 or 15 minutes a day can help you improve. You can start by listening to English. Listen to songs, podcasts, or watch videos in English. At first, you might not understand everything, but don't worry, your brain is still learning. When you listen, pay attention to how words sound. Try to repeat the words. This will help you get used to the sounds of English. The more you listen, the easier it will be to understand. Another way to practice is by reading. You can read books, news articles, or even social media posts. Start with easy texts, like children's books or simple news. As you get better, you can read more difficult things. When you read, try to say the words out loud. This will help you practice speaking too. It's like getting 2 lessons in one. You can also write in English. Start by writing simple sentences. Write about your day or things you like. Don't worry about making mistakes. Just keep writing. Over time, your writing will get better. Speaking is very important too. Find someone to practice speaking with. If you don't have anyone, try speaking to yourself. You can pretend you are talking to a friend. Ask yourself questions and answer them. The more you speak, the more comfortable you will feel. You don't need to speak perfectly. It's okay to make mistakes. Every mistake is a chance to learn. It's important to practice every day, even if it's just a little bit. If you miss one day, don't worry. Just keep going. Little by little, you will improve. When I started learning English, I practiced every day. Some days I didn't feel like it, but I still did it. Even if it was only for a few minutes, I practiced. Over time, I got better. You can also practice by using apps or online tools. There are many free apps that help you learn English. Some apps let you talk to people from around the world. You can practice with them and learn new words. If you make a mistake, don't be sad. Mistakes are part of learning. If you don't make mistakes, it means you are not trying. So always try to speak, even if you feel nervous. Another way to practice is by watching movies or TV shows in English. At first, it might be hard to understand, but with time, you will catch more words. You will also learn how people speak in real life. Try to watch with subtitles. This will help you see the words and hear them at the same time. After a while, you won't need subtitles anymore. It's also helpful to find a study buddy. A study buddy is someone who helps you learn English. You can practice speaking together, listen to English, and share new words. You can learn faster with a buddy. If you can, try to speak with native English speakers. They can help you with pronunciation and teach you new phrases. They can also give you tips on how to sound more natural. One of the best things you can do is immerse yourself in English. This means surrounding yourself with English every day. Listen to English while cooking, cleaning, or even walking. The more you hear English, the easier it becomes to understand. Remember, learning English is not a race. Everyone learns at their own pace. Some people learn quickly, and others take their time. That's okay. The important thing is to keep going and practice every day. When I learned English, I didn't understand everything at once. I didn't know all the words, but I kept going. I listened, I spoke, and I practiced. Slowly, I began to understand more and speak more clearly. Another tip is to set small goals. You don't need to learn everything in one day. Set a goal to learn 5 new words a day, or try to practice speaking for 5 minutes. These small goals will help you feel good about your progress. You will see that you are getting better every day. It's also helpful to track your progress. Write down the words you learn. Keep a list of new phrases. This will show you how much you've learned and keep you motivated. Lastly, don't forget to have fun. Learning English should be exciting. Find ways to enjoy it. Watch fun shows, read books you like, or play games that teach English. When you enjoy learning, it becomes easier and faster. Remember, learning English is a journey. It takes time, but every step brings you closer to your goal. Keep practicing, and soon you will see how much you've learned. So every day, take time to practice. Listen, speak, read, and write. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. The more you practice, the better you will get. You can do it. Chapter 2. Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something very important: fear. When we learn something new, it's normal to feel scared or nervous. But you can overcome this fear and build confidence. I remember when I first started speaking English. I was afraid people might laugh at me. I worried that I might make a mistake or say the wrong thing. But you know what? Everyone makes mistakes. It's part of learning. The first step to overcoming fear is understanding that it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are not bad. They help you learn. The more mistakes you make, the more you grow. When I started speaking, I was nervous. My voice would shake, and I would forget words. But I kept speaking anyway. I realized that the more I spoke, the less I felt afraid. One way to fight fear is to remind yourself that you are learning, not trying to be perfect. When you focus on learning, you stop worrying about being perfect. It's okay to make mistakes and not know everything. Another way to overcome fear is to practice every day. When you practice a lot, you get better. The more you practice, the more confident you feel. It's like learning to ride a bike. At first, it's hard, but after practicing, it gets easier. Start by speaking in front of a mirror. Look at yourself and speak in English. This will help you practice and feel more comfortable. You can also practice with your family or friends. If you don't have anyone to practice with, don't worry. You can practice by yourself. Talk out loud when you're doing something, like cooking or cleaning. Pretend you are talking to someone. This will help you get used to speaking in English. It also helps to set small goals. When you reach a small goal, you will feel proud and more confident. For example, You can set a goal to learn 5 new words today. Or you can try to speak for 10 minutes without stopping. Remember, you don't need to speak perfectly. You just need to try. If you make a mistake, it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. The important thing is that you are trying. When I first started, I thought everyone would laugh at my accent. But I soon learned that people are kind. They don't laugh at you. They want to help you. If you don't know a word, ask them. People like to help when you are learning. Another way to feel more confident is by listening to English. When you listen to English, you get used to how it sounds. You learn how people speak and how they use their words. The more you listen, the more you will understand and feel comfortable. Also, when you listen, you can learn new words and phrases. You will hear how native speakers say things. This will help you speak more naturally. So try to listen to English every day, even if it's only for a few minutes. Don't forget to smile. Smiling helps you feel more confident. When you smile, it makes you feel happy and less afraid. If you smile when you speak, it can also make others feel more comfortable. It also helps to remember why you are learning English. When you remember your reason, it can give you strength. Maybe you want to travel, make new friends, or find a better job. Whatever your reason is, think about it every time you feel scared. One way to build confidence is by reading out loud. When you read, your brain gets used to the words. It helps you remember how to say them. When you read out loud, you also practice speaking. Start with easy books. You can even read children's books or short articles online. As you get better, you can read harder books. Every time you read, you will improve your confidence. You can also keep a journal. Write about your day or your thoughts in English. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just write what you can. Writing helps you practice and improves your vocabulary. The more you write, the better you get at speaking too. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you don't understand something, ask someone. People will be happy to help you. Asking questions is a great way to learn faster. Another way to feel more confident is by speaking with others who are also learning English. Find a group or a partner to practice with. You can help each other. You can talk about anything, even simple things like the weather or your favorite food. Also, remember that learning English takes time. It's okay if you don't know everything now. Every day, you are getting better. With time, you will notice that you are more confident when you speak. There will be times when you feel discouraged. Maybe you feel like you are not improving fast enough. But don't give up. Keep practicing. Even when it feels hard, you are moving forward. Think of learning English like building a wall. At first, it may seem slow, but each time you practice, you are adding a brick. Slowly, the wall gets bigger and stronger. One day, you will look back and see how much you have built. When I was learning, I had many moments of doubt. I would ask myself, am I really getting better? But then I realized that every small step was helping me. Every time I spoke, I became more confident. So don't let fear stop you. Keep practicing every day. Speak even when you feel scared. With every mistake, you are getting better. Believe in yourself. You can do this. Chapter 3. Hello again. Today, we will talk about how to build your vocabulary. Learning new words is an important part of learning English. The more words you know, the easier it will be to speak and understand others. When I started learning English, I didn't know many words, but I didn't give up. I started learning new words every day. Little by little, my vocabulary grew. The first step is to learn the most common words. These are words that people use every day. Words like hello, goodbye, please, and thank you are used in almost every conversation. Start with these simple words. Once you know some basic words, try to learn words related to your daily life. For example, learn words for things you use at home, like table, chair, food, and bathroom. When you know words for the things around you, it's easier to talk about them. Another way to learn new words is by reading. When you read books, websites, or even social media posts in English, you will see many new words. Don't be afraid if you don't know a word. Just look it up in a dictionary or online. You can also use apps or websites to learn new words. Some apps show you a new word every day, and you can practice it. You can even test yourself to see how much you remember. Try to learn 5 new words every day. It might seem like a small number, but it adds up over time. In 1 month, you will know 150 new words. It's a great way to build your vocabulary. When you learn a new word, make sure to use it. When you use a word, you remember it better. For example, after learning a new word, try to use it in a sentence. If you learn the word happy, try saying, I am happy today. You can also practice new words by writing them down. Keep a notebook or an app where you write down every new word you learn. Review your words every day. This will help you remember them. Another way to remember words is by listening to English. When you listen to songs, movies, or podcasts, pay attention to new words. Try to repeat the words you hear. This will help you remember them better. Sometimes you will forget words. That's okay. It happens to everyone. When you forget a word, don't get frustrated. Just look it up again and practice using it. It's also helpful to learn words by categories. For example, learn words for food, colors, or animals. When you group words together, it's easier to remember them. Try to learn words in context. This means learning words in sentences, not just by themselves. For example, instead of learning just the word dog, learn the sentence, I have a dog. This will help you remember how to use the word in real life. Another way to build your vocabulary is by speaking. The more you speak, the more you will use the words you learn. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. The important thing is to practice. Find a language partner or a group where you can speak English. You can practice new words together. If you don't have anyone to speak with, try talking to yourself. You can practice by reading out loud or asking yourself questions. Use new words in your daily life. For example, if you learned the word computer, say, I am using my computer. The more you use the word, the easier it will be to remember. It also helps to practice pronunciation. When you know how to say the word correctly, it will be easier to use it in conversation. You can use apps or websites that teach pronunciation, or you can listen to native speakers. You can also learn words by watching TV shows or movies in English. When you watch, pay attention to how people speak and what words they use. Try to repeat the sentences you hear. This will help you understand how words are used in real conversations. It's important to be patient when building your vocabulary. You won't learn all the words at once, but little by little, your vocabulary will grow. Celebrate every new word you learn. As you learn more words, you will be able to express yourself better. You will feel more confident speaking and writing in English. Over time, you will see that you know a lot of words. Another tip is to use flashcards. Write the word on one side and the meaning on the other side. Test yourself every day. This is a fun and easy way to remember new words. You can also try to learn synonyms or words that have the same meaning. For example, happy and joyful mean the same thing. Learning synonyms will give you more options to speak or write in English. Sometimes you might feel that learning words is too slow, but don't worry, keep going. Every new word you learn brings you closer to your goal. And remember, you can always review old words to keep them fresh in your memory. One day, you will realize that you know a lot of words. You will feel proud of how much you have learned. Keep practicing every day, and you will see your vocabulary grow. Building your vocabulary is a fun and important part of learning English. Every new word you learn is a step forward. Keep practicing, keep using new words, and your vocabulary will grow bigger and stronger. Remember, learning English takes time, but every word you learn helps you on your journey. You can do it. Keep learning and keep growing. Chapter 4. Hello again. Today we are going to talk about listening. Listening is one of the most important skills when learning English. The better you listen, the better you will understand and speak. At first, listening to English may seem hard. You might not understand everything, but don't worry. This is normal. Every time you listen, you are getting better. When I started learning English, I had trouble understanding what people were saying. They spoke so fast, but I didn't give up. I listened every day, and little by little, I improved. The first step to improving your listening is to listen to things that you enjoy. This will make it fun and keep you motivated. If you like music, listen to songs in English. If you like movies, watch them in English. Start with easy materials. Watch children's shows or listen to podcasts made for English learners. These are slower and use simpler words. As you get better, you can listen to more difficult content like news or movies. When you listen, try not to worry if you don't understand everything. Focus on understanding the main idea. You don't need to catch every word. If you understand the main idea, that's enough. Another way to improve your listening is by using subtitles. When you watch a movie or show, turn on the English subtitles. This will help you see the words and understand them better. After watching, try to repeat what you heard. This will help you remember new words and phrases. You can also listen to audiobooks. These are great for learning new vocabulary and understanding how words are pronounced. Start with books for beginners and then move on to more difficult ones. Try to listen to English every day. Even if it's only for 10 or 15 minutes, it will help. The more you listen, the more familiar you will become with the sounds and patterns of English. It's also a good idea to listen to different accents. English is spoken in many countries, and people have different ways of speaking. Listen to different accents so you can understand more people. Sometimes it helps to listen to the same thing many times. If you don't understand something, listen to it again. The more you listen, the more you will understand. You can also practice listening by repeating what you hear. For example, if you listen to a sentence in English, try to say it out loud. This will help you improve your pronunciation and make you feel more confident. Another great way to practice listening is by using apps or websites that teach listening. These tools often have exercises where you listen to short clips and answer questions. This is a fun way to practice and test how much you understand. Don't forget to focus on how people speak, not just the words. English is not just about knowing words. It's also about knowing how to use them. Pay attention to how people stress certain words or change their tone. This will help you understand the meaning better. Sometimes it might feel like you're not improving fast enough. But remember, every time you listen, you are learning. It takes time, but with practice, your listening skills will get better. Another tip is to listen actively. This means you focus on what you're hearing. Try not to get distracted by other things. When you listen actively, you will understand better and remember more. You can also practice by listening and then writing down what you hear. This is a great way to improve both your listening and writing skills. Write down words, sentences, or ideas that you hear, and then check to see if they are correct. When I was learning English, I used to listen to the same song over and over. I would try to write down the lyrics. This helped me remember new words and understand the song better. It's important to practice listening with different types of media. Don't just watch TV shows. Listen to podcasts, radio, and even YouTube videos. The more variety you have, the better you will understand different ways of speaking. Also, try to listen to conversations. In movies or TV shows, people speak differently than in lessons. They use slang, idioms, and different speeds. This will help you sound more natural when you speak. When you listen, try to relax. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just enjoy the process of learning. The more relaxed you are, the easier it will be to focus on the sounds and words. Remember, you don't need to understand everything in the beginning. With practice, you will slowly improve. Over time, you will be able to understand longer and more complicated conversations. Another tip is to listen with a purpose. Before you listen to something, decide what you want to learn. Maybe you want to learn new vocabulary or practice listening for the main idea. This will help you stay focused. It also helps to listen for patterns in the language. For example, listen to how sentences are built. Pay attention to common phrases and expressions. This will help you use them in your own speaking and writing. As you improve, you'll find that listening becomes easier. You'll be able to understand faster and feel more comfortable with the language. The key is to keep listening every day. Finally, don't give up. Listening is hard at first, but with practice it gets easier. Keep going, and soon you will be able to understand English like a native speaker. Remember, learning English is a journey. Every step you take, even listening to a short clip, is progress. Keep practicing, and soon you'll be able to understand and enjoy all the English you hear. You can do this. Chapter 5. Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about speaking with confidence. Speaking English can be scary at first, but the more you practice, the more confident you will become. When I started learning English, I was afraid to speak. I worried about making mistakes. I was scared people would laugh at me. but I learned that making mistakes is part of the process. The first step to speaking confidently is to stop worrying about mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. The important thing is to keep trying. When you try, you learn and get better. One way to feel more confident is to practice speaking every day. Even if it's just for a few minutes, speaking often will help you improve. You can practice by talking to yourself. You can ask yourself questions and answer them. This may feel a little silly, but it helps you get comfortable with speaking. Another great way to practice is by finding a language partner. A language partner is someone who also wants to practice English. You can talk to them in English. They can help you, and you can help them. If you don't have a partner, try joining an English group. Many people around the world want to practice speaking. You can meet them online, practice with them, and you'll get better at speaking English. It's important to talk about things you enjoy. If you talk about things you like, it will be easier to speak. For example, if you like movies, talk about your favorite movies in English. If you like sports, talk about your favorite teams. This will make speaking more fun and help you remember new words. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you don't know a word. If you don't know how to say something, just ask. Most people will be happy to help you. You can also practice speaking by reading out loud. Find a book, article, or even a website in English and read it out loud. This will help you improve your pronunciation and get used to speaking English. Sometimes speaking can feel hard because you don't know many words, but don't let that stop you. You don't need to know big words to speak well. It's more important to use simple words and speak clearly. If you can say what you mean, people will understand you. Another tip is to speak slowly. When you speak too quickly, it's easy to make mistakes or get nervous. Speaking slowly will help you think about your words and say them more clearly. It also makes you sound more confident. When I first started speaking, I would get nervous, but I learned that it's okay to take a pause. If you need a moment to think, just pause and breathe. It's normal to need time to think of the right words. You should also listen carefully when other people speak. When you listen, you learn new words and how to use them. It also helps you know when it's your turn to speak. Practice listening and speaking together. This will help you improve both skills. Don't worry if people don't understand you the first time. Just try again. Speak clearly, and if you still have trouble, ask the person to repeat what they said. They will understand that you are trying to learn, and they will be happy to help. You can also practice speaking with songs. Sing along to your favorite English songs. This will help you improve your pronunciation and get used to the rhythm of English. Singing can be fun, and it's a good way to practice. Another way to practice speaking is by repeating what you hear. Listen to a sentence in English and try to say it exactly the same way. This will help you learn how to say the words correctly and improve your speaking. When you speak, try to use your body. Use your hands, face, and body to help explain what you're saying. This will make you feel more confident, and it will help the person you're speaking to understand you better. It's also important to be patient with yourself. Speaking takes time, and it's okay if you don't speak perfectly right away. The key is to keep practicing. The more you speak, the easier it will become. If you make a mistake, Don't worry. Everyone makes mistakes, and it's a part of learning. You can learn from your mistakes and do better next time. You can also use flashcards to help with speaking. Write down a question on one side and the answer on the other. Practice saying both the question and the answer out loud. This will help you practice speaking and make you feel more confident. Sometimes it helps to speak in front of a mirror. Look at yourself while you speak. This will help you become more comfortable with speaking. It also lets you see how your mouth moves when you say words. You can also try role-playing. Imagine you are in a restaurant and you have to order food in English. Practice saying the words out loud. Role-playing helps you feel ready for real-life situations. Remember, the more you speak, the more confident you will become. If you keep practicing every day, you will get better and better. Don't be afraid to speak even if you make mistakes. It's part of learning, and it will help you improve. Speaking English may seem hard at first, but with practice, it will get easier. Every time you speak, you are getting closer to your goal. Keep trying, and don't give up. You can do it. Chapter 6. Hello again. Today, we will talk about reading in English. Reading is a fun way to improve your language skills. It helps you learn new words, understand how sentences are built, and improve your grammar. When I first started learning English, reading was one of the hardest things for me. The words were new, and the sentences seemed long and difficult. But I didn't stop. I started reading simple books, and little by little, I got better. The best way to start reading in English is with easy books. Look for books made for beginners or children. These books use simple words and short sentences. They are perfect for learning. At first, try to read for fun, not to understand every word. Pick a story you like. Even if you don't know all the words, just keep going. Focus on the main idea. If you understand the story, that's enough. You can also read websites or apps for beginners. There are many sites that offer easy English articles. These can be short and interesting. Read one article a day. This will help you learn new words without feeling overwhelmed. Don't be afraid to look up new words. If you don't know a word, find out what it means. You can use a dictionary or translation app. Write the new word in your notebook. This will help you remember it. Another tip is to read out loud. When you read out loud, you practice pronunciation and get better at speaking. It also helps your brain remember what you read. Try to read for at least 10 minutes every day. You don't have to read long books at first. Start with short stories, articles, or even comic books. The goal is to read regularly. The more you read, the better your English will become. When you are ready, try reading longer books. Start with books for teenagers or young adults. These books are a little harder but still fun. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just keep reading, and over time, you will get better. As you read, pay attention to the sentences. Try to notice how they are built. For example, where is the subject? Where is the verb? This will help you understand how English grammar works. You can also read newspapers or magazines in English. These are great for learning new vocabulary, especially if you want to learn about different topics. Choose articles that interest you. This will make reading more enjoyable. One of the best ways to learn from reading is to keep a reading journal. After you finish reading something, write about it in English. It can be just a few sentences. Write what you liked, what you didn't understand, or any new words you learned. This will help you remember what you read and practice your writing. You can also reread the same book or article. The second time, you will understand more. This will help you improve faster. Repetition is a great way to learn. If you find a book that you really like, try to read it many times. The more you read it, the more you will understand. You will also start to remember new words. Reading with a purpose is important. Before you start reading, think about what you want to learn. Do you want to learn new vocabulary? Do you want to practice understanding the main idea? Having a goal will make your reading more focused and helpful. Try to read different types of books. Read stories, news, science articles, or even cookbooks. The more variety you have, the more words you will learn. Plus, reading different topics will help you become a more well-rounded reader. It's also helpful to read and listen at the same time. Find an audiobook of a book you are reading. Listen to it while reading the text. This will help you hear the pronunciation of words and understand the meaning better. Remember, reading should be fun. If you enjoy what you are reading, it will not feel like work. Pick books, articles, or stories that you find interesting. When you enjoy reading, it will be easier to keep going. If you don't understand something, don't give up. Look up the word or sentence. Ask someone for help. Over time, your understanding will grow. One way to make reading easier is to break it into small parts. Don't try to read a whole book in one day. Read one chapter or one page at a time. This will make it feel less overwhelming. Reading in English will help you learn more about how people speak and write. You will see how native speakers use words, phrases, and expressions. This will help you sound more natural when you speak.